Hello, welcome. I'm your host, Elizibar. This is going to be I don't know what to call it. I don't know if it's really a review. There's going to be like a little bit of mea culpa in the middle of it. But we're going to look at Dark Nights Death Metal Guidebook #1. Now, I don't know why we put #1 on one-shots. That seems really silly. It's not a periodical if it's a one-shot. Like, a periodical is something that comes out periodically. A single one-off issue is not a periodical, so you don't need to number it. But hey, they did. It is what it is. 1 million people worked on this. Look at that list. That is a lot of people. And there's a bunch of short stories in here. Now, when I first heard about this, I gotta make sure I say this correctly. When I first heard about this, and I even wrote a thing up about it, I thought, hey, this sounds exactly like what the name suggests. It's going to be a thing that says, here's what's like, it's going to be like a source book for an RPG, you know? You're going to open it up, it's going to tell you, like, this is the new Gotham, this is Wonder Woman's Underground Death Kingdom, this, you know, like that. Sorry for whacking the camera, I got a little overzealous with my hand. It happens sometimes. And that's what I thought was going on. And I was wrong. I was absolutely 100% wrong. Instead, what we got is a little 5-story anthology book. The first story, Fall of Earth, is really kind of just dry stuff. There's a lot of really cool art, and I'm going to try to find, like, the thing I think is the coolest here. I really dug that panel of Bat Sinestro, like, defeating the Green Lantern. And it's all about how the hero's lost. So it's kind of depressing. And it's all just narration and cool looking art. And that's all that there is to it. I say cool looking art, and I mean it. I don't know how that story has 1, 2, 3 writers on it. It also sets up the ongoing thing where there's a mysterious figure who we learn is Lex Luthor, who is watching this stuff unfold. After all, if you remember in Hell Arisen, he lost. He absolutely lost. Loser. So we learn about his machinations. There's a second story. Let me see who's worked on this. It's not a particularly well-written story. There's like no meat to it. There we go. There's absolutely no meat to it. But I gotta say, I really did appreciate the way some of the art looked. Like that. Apparently that's Captain Boomerang, and he looks awesome. It's just Harley fighting some people in the desert. Not much to it. The third story is all about Aquaman. It's actually pretty cool, and I want to show you the art there, which is apparently by the writer Becky Cloonan. It looks very distinctively cool. Like, oh, hey, that page is... My book's stapled wrong. Look at that. My book is stapled wrong. This page just popped free. You pay, how much did this cost? You pay $5.99 for a comic, and the second time you open it up, a page pops out. I don't even think I can repair that very easily. Like, not without having to bend the staples, and it'll be obvious that I repaired it. But it is... Is that the midpoint of the book? It's close enough. Oh, looks like, yeah, everything up through the from here to the midpoint of the book is all open, but I really like the way this looked. It'd be really cool in like a horror series or something. Like I don't know anything about Becky Cloonan, but very cool. I want to see like scary sea stories with Aquaman drawn like by this person. You know what I'm saying? I think that would be pretty dope. And it's all about Aquaman and the bat kraken thing that rules the oceans. And this guy, who looks really cool, by the way. And you can see, like, along the way, you do get, like, these little bits of cool, like, bat lore, like, that fits in with the setting that does tell you. So it is, we do contain, like, some of that kind of stuff. The next story is all about Ivy and Wonder Woman, and Ivy trying to escape, you know, what Wonder Woman, her little underground, like, hell prison thing. I really like the art. Dan Panosian did a great job there. The story doesn't have a whole lot of meat to it. It's just a very quick little tale. Looks great, and that's really all that matters. I mean, it looks really good. Look at her face. Look at that. Isn't that awesome? That is awesome. I'm trying to avoid spoiling anything. And then there's this thing, which is by Eduardo Risso, and I had to do a double take when I'm looking over here because I'm like, wait, is that Mike Mignola? Then I saw this, I'm like, no, that isn't. But over here on this side, very Mignola looking. Yeah, big Joker dragon thing. So Batman has just resurrected Jonah Hex. If you've read like the first, issue of Death Metal, you already know he did that. Pretty cool stuff. This is story-wise, the writing here is. I didn't like the dialogue. They're dancing around a point instead of just making a point, and it fell really flat. But I did love the visuals. So, little A, little B. All in all, this is actually a pretty cool comic book. It's just a shame that, the title, Dark Nights Death Metal Guidebook, doesn't sound like a comic book. I didn't think it was. My shop man, when I was talking to him, he's like, yeah, when I ordered this, I thought it was what you just described and not a comic book. And instead, it turns out to be a pretty cool comic book. And he's right, it was a pretty cool comic book. Lots of great looking stuff in there. A couple of stories that have some awesome punch to it. The Aquaman thing, surprisingly, was really cool. I really enjoyed that one. That might be my favorite story of the bunch, is the Aquaman one. And I really liked the art in the Wonder Woman Harley story. I thought that art was really dope, but the story itself fell kind of flat, in my opinion. And the Batman, the last story there, kind of cool. Definitely had cool art, and I like the way they engage the Joker Dragon in combat. But I didn't like the dialogue, if that makes any sense. So it's pretty dope. If your shop still has one of these and you haven't bought one, you should do yourself a favor and go buy one. And hopefully yours doesn't try to commit suicide like my copy did just now. You all take care of yourselves. You have a great day, great night, great whatever you got going on. I'm sorry for jumping to conclusions because I was wrong about what this was. So I am eating some crow. Bye-bye.